All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music and doing it in real time for a few real people out here just like you and just like me. All right. So I'm going to showcase this album because I'm going to be talking about Uriah Heep. Now, if you're not a Uriah Heep fan, I get it. All right. But this album came out the beginning of last year. Super packaging. If you like your albums where there's lots of stuff going on, as you could see here, this like I should have done like the unboxing, but I didn't. I didn't do that. So anyway, you got the words, you got all kinds of stuff going on here. Chaos in Color came out the beginning of 23, I think, and my friend Jeff Scott Soto is on this, which I thought was really cool. And I didn't realize it till after after I started talking about it. I'm like, really? And then I had to go back and I'm like, oh yeah, Jeff's on it. So you could still go out and get it though. Don't be dissuaded by the fact that Jeff Scott Soto is on the new Uriah Heep album, or at least the latest. So Uriah Heep has announced an endless farewell tour. You know what I call this? A fundraiser. Okay. This is a fundraiser farewell tour. And do I think eventually they'll stop touring? Yes. But just pay attention to this story because this is classic. So Uriah Heep announces farewell tour. It says, we intend to play as many places as possible. British progressive rock legends, I don't know, either they're heavy metal or they're progressive or they're both. Probably more progressive. The trek, which is expected to kick off next February, will run for approximately 2 or 3 years. See what I'm saying here? It's a fundraiser, folks. Now, I know Mick Box is up there. He's not a young guy, but 2 or 3 years, and will include performances in all parts of the globe. So Mick, he released a statement here. Hello there, it's Mick from the Mighty Heep. And who can believe next year is 55 years since the band started? And that's just so amazing. I know many of you have been with us since the beginning, and we do thank you for that. It means the world to us. Unfortunately, we have made the decision. What do you mean, unfortunately? This isn't really winding down. It says, this is amazing because it's very open-ended. It's like, we're going to wind down touring, but we're going to tour for at least 3 years. The title of the tour is Magician's Farewell, or in fact, The Magician's Farewell, he continued. Over the next 2 or 3 years, we intend to play as many places as possible and see you all for one last time. We will continue to play shows. So, wait a minute. He says, we will continue to play shows, but these will be limited to festivals and weekends and things like that. So that's after the 2 or 3 years. So it starts in 2025. That will bring us to 2028. And then there is the possibility that Uriah Heep will continue after 2028 playing festivals and weekends and things like that, according to Mick Box. He says, so we hope to see you all out there. Mick is the only surviving member of the original Uriah Heep, in case you cared to know about that. On behalf, let me try to do a Ringo here. On behalf of the band and myself, I want to thank you all for the continued support you have always given us. It means the world to us, and it means so much to us, and I just want to thank you for all that. Right. So Uriah Heep, are they retiring? Nope. They're not retiring. Again, this is a fundraising farewell tour. I'm sure they'll make some money. You know what would make sense to me? And again, because it makes sense to me, it probably won't make sense to anybody. But you know how Deep Purple is out there touring and stuff and putting out albums, and yeah, they don't show any signs of slowing down. Why not do Uriah Heep opening up for Deep Purple? Why wouldn't that be a good? I know Yes and Deep Purple is a great thing, but Uriah Heep even closer, I think, as far as the music goes. Just a great band, by the way. And you guessed it, not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. All the people that they influenced. I mean, you had Black Sabbath, and you had Uriah Heep, and you had Deep Purple. You had all of these bands, and the Heep doesn't get anything. They don't even get a wink or a nod or any kind of an acknowledgement. And they've kept their sound intact. Yes, personnel changes bigly, but sorry to use the word bigly. I know a lot of people are offended by that word because Trump uses it. But anyway, and it's not really a word. Just it was a made up thing, I think. Anyway, here is the album, Chaos in Colors. For fans of progressive rock, stuff with some really cool keyboards and just decent melodies. And, this isn't your pop stuff. You're not going to find a lot of hit singles on this. However, again, if you had rock stations who are playing rock today, why not? Why not put some Uriah Heep on the playlist? And classic rock stations, I know they play Easy Livin'. That's the only song I think they play. And that's the biggest song. But so what? I mean, 50 years goes by. Why not go back into these albums? You're a programmer, right? I know they don't have programmers anymore. Everything comes down from the top. But say you ran a little mom and pop station somewhere. You're like, you know what? We're gonna go back and find some decent tracks on these albums and mix them in with the songs that have been beaten into the ground, since rock music isn't really fashionable anymore. At least the kind of rock music that was made, say, I don't know, pick a date, mid 60s up until early 90s. That's when I think you could kind of build a great radio station. And you don't have to play the same songs over and over again. You just don't. Why do you have to? Well, they're familiar, Dave, and if people don't know the song, they're going to change the station. Okay. Well, maybe some people will come back and say, you know what? I'm tired of hearing I Want to Know What Love Is. I'm just tired of hearing that song. I want to hear something different. And so maybe they'll check out your radio station. I don't know. If I had disposable income, if I was a rich man, I would start a terrestrial radio station playing the music that either is forgotten or wasn't really heard the first time around. And I would still play familiar stuff along with all of that, because your playlist would be really big, so it wouldn't get boring and repetitive. And you'd have the element of surprise. You'd never know what was going to be on the radio next. And so, yeah, Uriah Heep would be on my radio station, and not just Easy Livin', folks. There's a lot of great music. How about the band UFO? Have you heard any UFO on the radio lately? It's another band like Uriah Heep in some regards. Different sound, but, not highly regarded by anybody here in the United States, because if they were, you'd hear them. Would you hear Rock Bottom a few times? Yeah, at least a few times. And then I'd go and find some other stuff to play. There's tons of music by, I don't know how many bands that have been either focus tested out of existence or forgotten about completely. And that makes me sad. So anyway, Uriah Heep announces farewell tour. Not really saying farewell anytime soon.